Before sunrise, Jerusalem did not wake like an ordinary city. It stirred like a sacred machine, surrounded by walls, watched by soldiers, and pulled toward one place, the temple. At the time of Jesus, this was not a quiet holy town. It was a crowded, tense, magnificent capital of worship, trade, memory, and Roman control. Every road seemed to lead upward, toward the courts where thousands came to pray, sacrifice, argue, bargain, and seek the presence of God. But above the prayers stood another reality, Rome. Its eagles, its taxes, its patrols, and its governors shaped the rhythm of daily life. This is the Jerusalem many people imagine only through fragments, a city of miracles, danger, devotion, and pressure building beneath the surface. To understand it, we must enter not as tourists, but as travelers stepping into one of history's most spiritually charged cities. Jerusalem stood high in the Judean hills, protected by stone, memory, and terrain. Approaching it was already part of the experience. Pilgrims came from Galilee, Judea, Idumea, and the wider Jewish diaspora, especially during the great festivals. For many, the journey ended at the site of the temple. Herod's expanded sanctuary rose like a mountain of pale stone above the city. Ancient writers described the temple as dazzling. In sunlight, its stones and gold could make the entire platform appear almost impossible to look at. Yet the city below was human, noisy, and crowded. Jerusalem smelled of bread, animals, incense, stone dust, sweat, oil, and smoke. The streets were not arranged for modern comfort. They twisted through quarters, climbed steps, narrowed suddenly, and pressed people together. On ordinary days, Jerusalem was already busy. On festival days, it could feel like the whole world had arrived at once. Passover, Shavuot, and Sukkot transformed the city into a living river of worship. Before entering sacred space, many pilgrims descended into ritual baths. Stone steps led down into water, silence, and preparation. These mikveh were not decorative details. They were part of the city's spiritual infrastructure, built into the rhythm of worship. Money also moved through Jerusalem. Greek and Roman coins circulated in daily life, but temple offerings required acceptable currency. Markets near the sacred precinct served practical needs, but they also sharpened the tension between holiness and commerce. A pilgrim arriving from far away needed lodging, food, purification, offerings, and guidance through a city packed with strangers. Jerusalem's economy pulsed with the temple. Priests, merchants, craftsmen, porters, innkeepers, and money changers all depended on the sacred calendar. At the center stood the temple priesthood, powerful, visible, and deeply woven into the politics of the city. The high priestly elite did not live like the poorest pilgrims. Some occupied large houses in the upper city, close to influence and power. The lower city was different, tighter, louder, and more vulnerable to crowding, taxation, and sudden unrest. The city carried social layers in stone: sacred heights, elite quarters, market lanes, pilgrim roads, and working homes pressed into the hills. And watching all of it was Rome's military presence, never far enough to forget. The Antonia fortress, associated with Herod's building projects and Roman security, stood near the temple area like a warning in stone. Whether every detail of its ancient layout is debated or reconstructed, its symbolic role is clear. Soldiers could watch the most sensitive place in the city. This made Jerusalem unlike any other place in the region. It was holy ground under foreign power. Roman rule in Judea was not always visible in every doorway, but it was present in taxation, appointment, punishment, and fear. Local leaders had to navigate loyalty, survival, theology, and politics. In Jerusalem, even silence could carry meaning. For ordinary people, the question was simpler and harder. How do you remain faithful when the empire controls the roads, the taxes, and the sword? The temple itself was more than a building. It was memory made visible, covenant, sacrifice, identity, and hope concentrated in stone. Smoke rose from offerings. Levites sang. Priests moved with practiced precision. Pilgrims stood in awe, sometimes after weeks of travel. But not everyone could enter every space. Sacred geography shaped the body: where to stand, where to wait, where not to cross. The deeper one moved, the more restricted the access became. The city taught holiness through distance. Beyond the courtyards, the Holy of Holies remained unseen by almost everyone. Its invisibility gave it immense power. That contrast defined Jerusalem. Crowded streets outside, sacred silence within, imperial pressure above, and longing everywhere. In the markets, news traveled quickly. A teacher from Galilee, a rumor from the desert, a new tax, a healing story, a political arrest. Jerusalem was a city of voices, Aramaic in the street, Hebrew in worship, Greek in trade, Latin in command. Streets near the gates were especially alive. Goods entered the city, pilgrims arrived, officials inspected movement, and beggars watched the flow. The city gates were thresholds between danger and protection, wilderness and worship, empire and sacred memory. At night, Jerusalem changed again. Torches replaced sunlight. Rooftops cooled. The temple remained a presence even in darkness. Roman patrols became harder to ignore in the narrow darkness. Metal, footsteps, and torchlight could turn any corner into a warning. Yet homes also held ordinary tenderness. Meals, prayers, fatigue, family concerns, and the private weight of public events. The city was not only priests and soldiers. It was bakers, stonecutters, widows, servants, scribes, merchants, travelers, and the poor. Scribes copied, debated, and interpreted. Scrolls were power because words could preserve law, memory, identity, and resistance. Religious groups and interpretations shaped the city. Pharisees, Sadducees, priests, teachers, and ordinary worshippers did not always see the same future. Some believed restoration was near. Others feared rebellion. Many simply tried to survive the pressure of empire and expectation. That tension made every festival dangerous. A city swollen with pilgrims could become a city swollen with hope, anger, and rumor. The Roman authorities understood this. Large gatherings near the temple were not only religious events, they were political risks. The temple elite understood it too. Authority in Jerusalem depended on balance, enough order to avoid Roman intervention, enough sanctity to keep legitimacy. This is why the city could feel breathtaking and unstable at the same time. Its beauty was real, its danger was real, its devotion was real, and none of these realities canceled the others. To walk Jerusalem then was to move through layers of meaning: Roman pavement, Jewish memory, Herodian architecture, ancient prophecy, and daily hunger. Herod's rebuilding projects had transformed the city physically. Monumental stones, expanded platforms, grand stairways, and public works made Jerusalem feel imperial in scale. But grand architecture did not erase old wounds. Under the polished stone lived memories of conquest, exile, return, and domination. The city carried history like sediment. Every generation added a layer, and every layer carried a claim. For a Galilean arriving from the north, Jerusalem could feel overwhelming, larger, richer, stricter, more watched, and more dangerous. For a Roman officer, the city may have seemed restless, beautiful, ancient, and difficult to govern. For a priest, Jerusalem was duty. For a merchant, opportunity. For a pilgrim, fulfillment. For the poor, perhaps both hope and humiliation. And for history, it became the stage where local holiness and imperial power collided with consequences that would echo for centuries. Within a generation, the city would face catastrophe. In 70 CE, Roman forces destroyed the temple, ending the world this episode has been tracing. That future shadow makes the Jerusalem of Jesus even more haunting. We are seeing a world still alive, but already fragile. The stones were still standing. The sacrifices were still offered. The markets were still loud. The pilgrims were still arriving. No one walking those streets could know exactly how much of their world was about to disappear. This is what makes first-century Jerusalem so powerful. It was not a frozen relic, but a living city under pressure. It was sacred, but not peaceful. Ancient, but not still. Beautiful, but watched. Devout, but divided. Its streets held ordinary lives and eternal questions. Who rules this city? Who owns its memory? Who can stand before God? The answer changed depending on where you stood: in the market, in the fortress, in the temple court, or outside the gates with dust on your feet. But one truth remains clear. Jerusalem at the time of Jesus was not only a place. It was a collision of heaven, empire, and human longing. And in that collision, the city became more than history. It became one of the most unforgettable stages in the human search for meaning.